Yes.
Atlanta has called 2 press conferences since they did this, and they've not said anything that makes any sense. Atlanta needed pass rushers. Atlanta needs defense. And Atlanta, instead, at 8, reached and took Michael Penix. There's no explanation in the world that I've heard that explain why would you do that after you gave Kirk Cousins a $100 million guaranteed contract for at least the next 4 years, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Why would you want Michael Penix to sit? Michael Penix, if he sits 4 years as Cousins plays out his contract, he'll be then a 28-year-old rookie. And you got no bloody defense. I mean, there were pass rushers all over the place that Atlanta could have had at 8. Didn't do it. So I give them the worst draft of all. In Dallas, they got bad salary cap issues, but they got holes on their roster too. They desperately needed a running back, and they bypassed all of them, including Jonathan Brooks at Texas, who they met with last Friday and sent him through another physical. And he, of course, had the major knee injury, even though he did have a 1,000-yard season before he got hurt at midseasons. I just didn't like what Dallas did, though Dallas did get an offensive tackle, and they've had a lot of injury and age issues at offensive tackle. And Ty Guyton coming in the door is probably going to play some significant football. But they needed a running back. They still don't have a running back, although they're about to sign Ezekiel Elliott to a 1-year contract to bring him back. Arizona, it's kind of hard to sit here and criticize a team that got Marvin Harrison because that guy is a big-time player. But a wide receiver doesn't change your franchise. It'll be nice for Kyler Murray to have that type of talent to get the ball too. But if they could have traded out a 4 and gotten three significant picks, that's 3 potential starters rather than just Marvin Harrison.
Mm-hmm.
And even though Arizona had a lot of picks at the back end of the draft, I just don't think they handled this thing correctly. They could have gone down a slot or 2 and then maybe traded down again. They could have wound up with two first-round picks and bunches in the 2nd and 3rd round, and they didn't. In Cincinnati, I say poor Joe Burrow. The Bengals just keep doing this. I don't understand why the Bengals do this, but Cincinnati drafted an offensive tackle who's got weight issues, maturity issues, and has only started 8 games in college football. His name's Alois Mims out of Georgia. That was their number 1 pick. I mean, we're talking big project.
Yeah.
Big project. And that's the guy that's supposed to protect your big money quarterback, Joe Burrows. So that's an issue. And then they drafted a defensive player who's got some issues too. So I didn't like anything I saw from the Cincinnati situation. And the Jets, they got Aaron Rodgers, but I don't think they got difference makers with their draft early on. They got a wide receiver, Malachi Corley from Western Kentucky, but that's 1AA football. That's a far ways away. They tried to trade up from where they were at 10, and they didn't do that. They did get an offensive lineman, which is going to help them some, but I just didn't think they got the right guys because they have such a shorter window with Aaron Rodgers to be great. So those are the ones I didn't think had good drafts. So John, you were sitting there. Did you spill your coffee when Atlanta took Michael Penix at 8?
Yeah, and I love Michael Penix, and I want him to be successful. But yeah, after getting Cousins, I mean, did Atlanta even talk to Cousins at any time, telling him they were considering taking not Vic, but Penix?
No, some clubs will alert the guy early. I don't think they alerted him till right till the pick was being made, because I think they knew what the reaction was going to be. We're going to talk about the reaction in just a second. But this makes no sense. I mean, the elite pass rusher was out of Alabama, and he was on the board at 8, and he would have helped fix a poor defense. You don't need Michael Penix to sit there and learn for 3 years or 4 years.
Yeah.
Even if there's some private concern that maybe Cousins won't come back from this torn Achilles, although doctors say he's fine and he's going to do all the OTAs. Did they draft him as an insurance policy? Well, maybe you could have drafted him later, but not at number 8 when you got all these holes on your defense and you bypass the best pass rusher or 2 best pass rushers that were out there, the kid from Alabama and the kid that the Rams got from Florida State. Makes no sense to me. And like I said, they've held 2 press conferences, and anything I've watched one of them with Raheem Morris, the coach, anything that's coming out of his mouth, I still don't understand the rationale because he's not telling us the rationale.
Yeah, and there's got to be something more going on here. I wonder if like the owner kind of came in and made that pick on their behalf. It's just something irrational going on in Atlanta.
Yeah. So that's where we are. You're an NFL football fan. Give us your thoughts. Who do you think had the best draft? Who had the worst draft? NFL football fan, Charger fan, like their draft? Rams fan, jump in to the Fans Forum chat box and give us your opinion as to what you saw. Because when we're done here, we want to hear what you've got to say in Fans Forum. John, we got a couple